Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my Lucha Underground review for Season 2, Episode 2, and I'm just going to get right into it. This episode is called The Dark and the Mysterious, and this episode was taped on November 14th, 2015, and it originally aired on February 3rd, 2016, and I'm just going to get right into the episode. We had the commentary team of Matt Striker and Vampiro, and the show kicks off with Prince Puma backstage, and he's obviously, reminiscing as he's lifting weights about Ultima Lucha when he lost the Lucha Underground Championship to Mil Muertes, and Pentagon Jr. comes up to him, and he said that he's honored to team up with Prince Puma, and he thanks them for allowing him to add Mil Muertes on his list of recent sacrifices. And he says that with the help of Prince Puma tonight, when they team up, they're going to he's going to sacrifice the disciples of Geth, and then afterwards he's going to sacrifice Prince Puma to his master, which obviously we know is Vampiro. And afterwards, they get into a fight. Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr. go back and forth. Prince Puma goes to kick him, but Pentagon Jr. catches it, which Prince Puma does like a backflip, landing on his feet. He chokes him up against a locker and then just walks off. I like this backstage segment, though. I thought it really established the main event, and it's teasing a feud between Pentagon Jr. and Prince Puma. So I actually liked it a lot. And then it kind of recaps us. They talk about the main event. And Matt Striker kind of is interrogating Vampiro about, Pentagon Jr. Breaking Mil Muertes' arm. And, Vampiro is kind of playing a little bit of a heel role. He doesn't really want to talk about it, though, because, the doctors recommended that he doesn't. But he obviously, too, is kind of, in favor of Pentagon Jr., so I actually kind of like how Vampiro is playing both sides of the fences. And then we had the first match on the show. It was Johnny Mundo versus Killshot. This is Johnny Mundo's first appearance since Ultima Lucha, and this match I actually thought was really good. Killshot gets the advantage early in this matchup. He hits a really cool clothesline onto Johnny Mundo. But then eventually he hits a suicide dive right onto the outside. And then eventually Johnny Mundo hits a spear on the outside. And Johnny Mundo takes over the matchup for a while. But then eventually Killshot starts to mount a comeback. He hits a DDT. And then he hits a rolling cutter. He hits a shooting star press on Johnny Mundo. Johnny Mundo kicks out. Johnny Mundo hits a C4, best known as a standing Spanish fly. Killshot kicks out. But then eventually the referee takes a bump, and Johnny Mundo hits a low blow behind the referee while the referee's down onto Killshot, and then he hits the springboard spin kick on him, and then he hits the end of the world for the win, and Johnny Mundo gets the victory. I thought this match was really good. I gave it 3.5 stars. Afterwards, he tells Mil Muertes that he's coming after his Lucha Underground Championship. But then Cage gets on the mic, and he says that he's happy to be back in the temple, and he says that he's the guy that should face Mil Muertes for the belt, because unlike Johnny Mundo, he's not just a man, he's a machine, and Johnny Mundo cuts him off and challenges him to get in the ring and fight him. Cage comes down, but Johnny Mundo takes off, and then afterwards Cage has a face down with Mil Muertes, who's now watching up on the top of the temple this time with his arm in a sling, because of the attack by Pentagon Jr. on the last episode. But then afterwards Johnny Mundo gets in the ring and attacks him from behind, but Cage hits a clothesline on Mundo, and he goes for the not the Luthez press, but the Luthez drop, where he picks him up and just drops him, but Johnny Mundo escapes. So now they're teasing a feud between Cage and Johnny Mundo, which I like. I like, Cage and Johnny Mundo. I did like how they brought up that, in the match that they did have at Lucha Underground, Cage beat him, so I actually kind of like that. So I liked it. And then afterwards, it shows Sexy Star, who's been kidnapped, by Marty the Moth Martinez. She's strapped into a chair, and Marty the Moth Martinez brings in a moth and says that he can't wait for her to meet his sister, and says that pretty soon, like moths, you'll be able to spread your wings and fly, and go to the temple, and we're going to be going with you. And he's being really creepy towards Sexy Star, like as if he's keeping her as like a sex slave or something. But I actually really like this. I really like this Marty the Moth Martinez character. It's something we haven't seen wrestling before, and I like this creepy gimmick. Then we had a vignette for PJ Black, and it shows him being the Daredevil, the Daredevil Wolf, and he talks about how he doesn't want to be a wrestler for the money or the fame. He wants to be a fighter, because he wants to take risks, and be a daredevil. And it shows him, riding on a motorcycle, getting into a fight with people. If you haven't seen this vignette, it's actually really good. I really liked it. And then we had the next match. It was the Mac versus the debuting PJ Black. I thought this match was really good. It was really back and forth. You had PJ Black hit a really cool springboard moonsault onto the Mac, and he hit a really cool cartwheel knee right to the head. The Mac hit a wicked knee strike himself. PJ Black hit a springboard 450. The Mac kicks out. The Mac hits a wicked TKO. He hits a discus clothesline, a pump kick, and then eventually PJ Black goes for the 450, but the Mac moves out of the way, so the PJ Black has to improvise, and he goes for a springboard move, but then eventually the Mac catches him into a cutter for the win. But this match I thought was really good. Definitely recommend checking it out. And the Mac wins, which I kind of think is odd because this is PJ Black's debut, but I really can't complain about it because it wasn't like PJ Black was weak or anything. And it makes more sense because the Mac's more experience in the temple, and they can build a story with this with PJ Black, so I actually like this. And then it had a vignette for the Cobra Moon, who's seen, fighting people, and she talks about how she's vindictive and stuff because that's what kind of Cobras are. And I actually like this vignette. They do a vignette saying that she's coming to the temple soon, so that will be interesting right there. I can't wait to see what she does. And then we had a main event. It was a 2-on-3 handicap match. The Disciples of Death versus Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr. The match pretty much spills out of control instantly with the Disciples of Death and Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr. just all getting into a fight. At first they don't fight him off as well, but then eventually Prince Puma fights him off, and Pentagon Jr. hits a dive on the outside, and Prince Puma hits a flip dive on the outside, and Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr. really aren't getting along with each other, which allows the Disciples of Death to take him out. And the Disciples of Death dominate Prince Puma for a while. They really get the heat on him. One of them hits a springboard dropkick right onto him. And if you want to know who's in the Disciples of Death, it's Barrio Negro, El Sinstro de la Muerta, and Trace. I think that's how you say those names, but you can let me know if I didn't say them right. But then eventually Prince Puma hits a neck breaker, which causes one of the Disciples of Death members to hit the other one with a DDT. And instead of making the tag to Pentagon Jr., he decides to go in there himself. So then Pentagon Jr. just comes in and cleans out to hit a slim blade onto two members of Pentagon of the Disciples of Death, a super kick onto him. And this leads to Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr. getting into a fight, which allows the Disciples of Death to take advantage and really get the upper hand onto Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr. But then eventually when they try to grab a chair and one of them goes for a suicide dive while Pentagon Jr. is sitting on the chair, Pentagon Jr. reverses it, and Prince Puma hits a wicked, sick, almost tombstone pile driver onto one of them and hits a 630 on the other one. But Pentagon Jr., as he was hitting the move, tags himself in and takes the victory and the pinfall for himself. So Pentagon Jr. and Prince Puma win. But, you know, obviously it wasn't without them fighting with each other. But I actually like this. They were still able to work together enough to beat the Trios champions. And I like this because this kind of, you know, puts them in line for a championship opportunity with Mil Muertes. And afterwards, you know, Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr. are arguing, so they go to leave. You know, Pentagon Jr. goes to attack him. Prince Puma fights him off at first, but then eventually gets hit with a lung blower. And Pentagon Jr. tries to break Prince Puma's arm, but Prince Puma fights out of it, and Pentagon Jr. leaves, and Prince Puma stands tall. So I like this. I think this is going to build to a future match between Pentagon Jr. and Prince Puma. Probably not the next episode. I imagine it's probably going to happen, you know, episode 4. And the winner will become like the #1 contender to Mil Muertes Lucha Underground Championship. But then the show wasn't over there. The next thing you see is Al Dragon Azteca Jr. with a hood up, and you hear Rey Mysterio Jr.'s voice talking, and he talked about how he was related to Al Dragon Azteca. He was his trainer, and he was supposed to acquire his mask, but he chose his own mask, and Al Dragon Azteca Jr. was given the mask, and he's going to train him to take down, you know, the Cueto family, and show him the ways of a luchador. And it shows El Dragon Azteca Jr.'s face, and then at the end of the episode, it actually shows Rey Mysterio Jr.'s face, and that was the end of the episode. Obviously, this was a huge mark-out moment because Rey Mysterio Jr., who obviously, you know, was just doing indie stuff at this time, this was a huge signee for Lucha Underground to get. This is probably the biggest one that they've gotten, just because of how much name recognition he's had from, you know, his days in WCW and WWE. So obviously I thought it was an awesome get for Lucha Underground with Rey Mysterio Jr. And it's kind of, you know, you get to see all these dream matches that you can have, like with people like, you know, Prince Puma, Pentagon Jr. I would like, you know, Mil Muertes. I'd like to see him wrestle him for the championship at some point. So I'm actually very excited about the possibilities of Rey Mysterio Jr. In Lucha Underground. Keep in mind, this is as if it's live for me. I know he's, you know, back in WWE now and stuff, but I'm really excited to see what Rey Mysterio Jr. does in Lucha Underground. Because, like I said, it's as if I'm watching this live. But that was the end of the episode. I thought it was a great episode. I liked how it ended off with a cliffhanger with, you know, revealing Rey Mysterio Jr. sign. I liked, you know, the Johnny Mundo kill shot match and the setting up of a Johnny Mundo cage feud. I liked PJ Black's debut and his match with Mac. I liked what they did to kind of further the Marty the Moth Martinez, you know, Sexy Star feud. And I obviously liked the main event feud with the setting up, you know, the Prince Puma Pentagon Jr. match. And I actually like that it seems like we're getting new faces in Lucha Underground, like PJ Black, like, you know, the Cobra Moon. So I'm at, you know, obviously, because we just I'll talk about this more in a future episode because it gets addressed. We've had a lot of people leave Lucha Underground due to travel reasons and such. I actually like that we're actually getting new faces in Lucha Underground, because I feel like after every new season you should have new people join the show just to make the season and the show feel different. So I actually like this. So if I had to give this episode a grade, I thought it was a great episode. I'm going to give it a B+. But that's pretty much the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will see it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell so that way every time I upload a video, you guys will get the notifications for it. And make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers and No on the Talkinator YouTube channels. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.